We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Anything else?
Is the $34 per copy kernel like a bigger size than what you sell in person?
Jared, is the popcorn bigger online than it is in?
No, it's the same product,
It's the same
It's
size.
like double what we paid last year for one of those.
Yeah.
but it's online, it's a comp, it's two.
There's two.
It's
Okay,
two.
there's two of them.
It's double.
That makes sense. Okay. Thank you. We forgot the second jar.
Oh, good point. Sorry, didn't recognize that.
We'll get to that page in a minute. Yeah. Anything else? You should have probably done ours first. I think Jared, or you have, who's next on this list? Working.
One more online.
One more slide.
This is our the shipping information for online sales. It starts in about a week. So if they don't meet the deadline of the $65 ordering, it's about $11 for the shipping. The microwave pop bean and the sea salt pack that you saw have an extra $3 handling fee, and that didn't change from last year, so that's pretty.
Did you just say that we're going to start online on the 5th of July?
You can actually sell online January through December.
Okay, but I'm counting for council prizes.
Council prizes are August 1st to the end of our sale in October.
Do we know if there's going to be any, like, just free shipping on any price popcorn, or is it 65 and above the only free shipping?
It's 65 for right now. Sometimes Frozen does special stuff throughout the season. Sometimes they don't, so we'll know when you know.
So we don't know yet.
No, we don't know anything.
And if I knew, I'd tell you. I don't know either.
Alright.
Trust me, he has a hard time keeping secrets, so. Any other questions on shipping? So make your sale easy. Use the Chosen app through the Scouts. Record all your sales through the app. You have to do that anyways to get the Chosen prices, so why not? Sign up for your storefronts, and we will go over more details later. Track your progress towards your goal. Record your deliveries. So make sure if they do a pre-order, you go back and deliver it and so forth. Share your page and then claim your rewards. Then we have the unit leader portal. Leaders will manage the sale from the portal. If you have not done this before and need help, reach out to your district colonel and your council colonels. We're all here to help you. It's pretty self-explanatory, so it's pretty user-friendly. And then you can, it's kind of cool because a couple years ago when I was doing it for the pack, I was actually at a campout and tracking the Scouts' progress for my phone, so it's pretty easy. And it's kind of like a game to me. Any questions? I numbered these, but I don't have numbers on the side, so I don't know when who's coming up next when. So just to let you know. Credit cards. tell your customers that you prefer debit and credit. Less cash for the scouts to handle, less mistakes to be made, less germs to come across the table. And plus, then you don't have to pay counsel and you can get your trails and rewards faster. So the more you do credit card, and there is a parents can pay now option. Unfortunately, the pay now option does not get the extra points for the rewards. So they have to do the order with the credit card to get that, but they're working on that for us. Any questions on this? It looks like they're still reading. So we'll go over the rewards here in just a little bit, and but if you use a scout takes a credit card sale from a customer, they get 1.5 points or 1.25 points, and then but if they do a cash transaction, it's only 1 point.
So let me get this right. For when you're selecting the Bluetooth, do they mean that after you've gone in for your sale and you're saying pay now, at that time they're going to have now another button that will say use Apple Pay or whatever, or how does that work? Because I've never gotten to use the Apple Pay or Google Pay. I didn't think that worked last year.
If you have a Square Bluetooth reader, they automatically accept Apple or Google Pay, depending on which model you have.
Oh, I went to my school. During COVID. And so at that time it didn't have the Apple Pay and all that.
The swipe card readers do not have that option.
It's actually just where you click on the tab.
If it's after something, okay.
Well, that's the extension. I'll have to call them and see how it works. Okay.
Yeah, because there's a Bluetooth one, and it's a square.
Yep.
And it's about this, like this, and it's Bluetooth, and so I just sit on a table and
that's
then
what
we'll put it in my
Apple
pocket or
Pay.
whatever.
That works with Apple Pay. We tried it more times. So
You might do that.
Yeah.
okay.
There might be updates or something, yeah. Yeah.
But will we have access to the slideshow after the meeting today, or?
Yeah, we'll put the slideshow up, yeah.
What's that bottom one? I can't read. It says using pay now and account for rewards. Is that just for the site, or not the site sales, but the pre-order stuff? Is that what that is?
No, so when you're at a sale, so I'll be at the sale with my son, and then I'll record all the transactions in there, even the cash ones. And then at the very end of the sale, I can count the cash, make sure it all matches, and I can say, okay. And then there's a pay now option, and I can click that pay now option, and then basically that money I can have it pulled from my credit card, then I can put the money in my pocket, and I can walk away from the sale knowing that I left the $100 in the till, and I don't have to. The next person doesn't have to hold the $500 in cash until they get to the popcorn kernel.
So Rich talked about how the new kernels and this sale, all this work, right, as a kernel, and it is a lot of work. But I can tell you that from our standpoint as a partner with Scouting Trails In, every year we're looking at how do we make this easier for you as kernels, right? And we're trying to listen, right, to you to say what's easier. Well, this is a suggestion that came in a couple years ago where the leader said, look, we don't want to carry cash, it's not safe. And of course, COVID helped that, right? And so this is now a feature where, you you talk to some of these units that sell 40, 50K, and they talk about their days when they deliver, or walk into the bank with $8,000, $10,000 in cash. It's just not safe. They feel like they're like drug dealers, Anyway, so that's the whole point of this pay now, is that your families are out selling, they have cash, rather than having 20 families having to bring you the cash as a kernel. They literally can go into the app, say pay now, charge their credit card, keep the cash, they get their Marriott points, right? And pick the families food. So anyways, that's how that feature works. It's meant to make life easier for you as kernels, so you don't have to handle all that cash. you'd be surprised at how many councils across the country every year have units that just, we have, you know, the frost bet, where families or leaders all of a sudden disappear with, you know, significant amounts of cash. So trying to keep yourself safe and make it easier for you.
Any questions on that? And if you need help learning it, again, one of us can, I've got my son's app on my phone and we can open it up and we can kind of see where it's at too, if anybody wants to do that afterwards. Say that again?
Can you use a debit card to pay now or
Yes.
credit?
Debit or credit? Any plastic card that you have. Okay, there's,
I say they don't get the extra points if they do the pay now.
you don't get the extra points if you use the pay now option.
No, we're talking about debit card.
It's the same thing, it's the same thing. And at the very end of the sale, if you use debit, credit, no matter what, if you hit pay now, the scouts will not end up with the extra points. No matter what you use, they won't have those extra points.
We hope that that's a change in 2024.
That's what you're working on.
But if the original sales are cash sales, Scout's gonna get the 1 point
Yep.
for cash sales. Even use the pay, there's still benefits to using the pay now. We want it next year, 24, hopefully we're here telling you that, hey, use the pay now feature and we'll convert those sales for that Scout to the 1.25 multiplier. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. Apologies.
So you're saying to get the points, you basically have, if they're cash, your parent has to use the card then during that before they submit it, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the point that they're used to doing it at the very end after everything's collected.
Yes. So if you run, if the customer runs the credit card before the end of the sale, then they'll get the 1.25. If you wait till the very end of the sale and then the parents do that option, it just helps the popcorn kernel, honestly. All you guys, you don't want to deal with cash in your house, you know, so don't worry about it. You know, use the pay now option, you know, so. There was a question back there. Okay, perfect. Anybody else? And like I said, again, I'll pull up my son's app and I'll show you guys how to use it if you want, afterwards. And any one of us can do that with the kids' apps, so. I'm more than happy to do that. Still me? Okay. I'll keep going. All right, a successful sale. So there's lots and lots of webinar trainings, so go online. That starts soon, right, John? The webinars?
Yeah, we'll have those slides.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll let you know when they'll start. Plan your year, figure out where you're going next year, you know, and what this popcorn is gonna pay for, you know, so. And just to let you know, all this stuff that we're asking you to do to have a successful sale, you need to do it to get your bonus commissions anyways, so you might as well just do it. And you get an extra 5% on your traditional sales. Prepare your families and your scouts, train them, teach them, have them open up the app in front of you so that you know that they can get in there. Show them what products are there, what's listed. Go over the price, have your SPL, you know, talk to the senior or the other scouts, have your headmaster talk to them. Here's the prices. Make sure they're very comfortable with the prices. Make sure that they know all the dates that they need to know, so then they can sell and get everything back to you in a timely manner so that you have time for that. Yeah.
So, our troop doesn't start like officially meeting back until after sales start. A lot of families are gone on summer vacations and stuff like that. And how are we supposed to try and do this big kickoff with the troops when they're not even in town. Because it's summertime, it's before school starts, no one's back yet. Like, how are we, because even during the summer meetings that, you know, I know the transfer summer meetings are motivation, there's still only, you know, a small group, like 3 or 4 scouts that can show up. We're Cub Scouts, we're younger.
Right. Has anybody else run into that being a pack
Like
unit?
last year, we didn't start sales until
Start after school.
into August.
So, one year we did a Zoom meeting, and then that way we could, because I know I did that as a pack person, you know, we said, hey, Zoom meeting here, everybody on, you know, get on there, and then just, it doesn't have to be long. Give them a half hour, you know, just say, hey, here's the product, here's the prices. Basically, it's a way to get the scouts encouraged to sell. So encourage them.
So we don't start popcorn when I was a pack until like end of August. But the way that I got my pack there was I threw a party at our local park that we did our sell things. And I called it the Welcome Back Party Kickoff Party. And I did a potluck. And we host it right before school starts. And all parents are home. And you get them all there. You give them food. And you do a huge popcorn kickoff. The kids play a couple games. And you pass out your goodie bags or however you put your information together, and then send them on their way. I give them balloons, like yellow balloons and stuff, and I send them on their way. But they come, they play, they get to see each other, and it's before Scout season starts. I do it at the very end of August, and I call it the Welcome Back Scouts Popcorn Kickoff Party. And I get almost all of them there. I've had like, you know, and then the rest they get them unfortunately when Scout starts. Unless I can see them before.
So we're gonna use them at, no, sorry. No, that's fine. You just can't hear you, so very hard.
So, as a pack, we don't start till the first Friday after school starts, which is always after Labor Day. So I always do a kickoff meeting a couple weeks before that. Is it greatly attended? No. But our pack knows kickoff or popcorn is the beginning of the year. So we have our returning scouts that once they at the kickoff party, I also, for those that don't attend, I send out a mass wide email of what was covered, everything, the agenda, everything, so that parents do know this is what's coming up. And our returning scouts know what to expect. They sign up. Those new scouts, they're not going to sign up. So I don't plan massive amounts of site sales this first couple of weekends just because I know there's scout limit, you know, there's going to be scouts that have no idea what's going on. So I just suggest with that, you know, prepare for, you know, after the first couple of weekends, pick up more site sales then after your kickoff because for new scouts, they're just not going to know what to do.
A different perspective. I was a unit colonel for Cub Scouts for 5 years and increased each year. What we did was we did the kickoff on the first meeting of the year. And oftentimes we had a lot of potential new scouts there. And what surprised you and surprised me was at the end of the meeting they were asked, what are you most looking forward to? And a number of them said selling popcorn because we got them all revved up. So sometimes new scouts do sell. I always made it optional. But sometimes they do, and sometimes they have the best sales. So don't rule them out. For the returning scouts who kind of knew how to do it, I communicated with the families via email, okay, online sales start August 1st, you can start selling then. And I would let them know that they could go door to door starting August 1st. But then I did the kickoff in early September at our very first meeting. So that's just my suggestion.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you. All right, so plan your budget, plan your goal, have the kids, scouts, plan what they want to do with their popcorn sales, and if they're going to camp next year, you know, have them. Our boys are going to Camp Easton this year. You know, have them talk about where they're going, what activities they want to do. Do they want to go scuba diving and need money to support that scuba diving merit badge? You know, have them plan out what they want to do for their year. I know a lot of kids last year were planning to go jamboree, you know, so they sold a lot of popcorn to make their way to jamboree. And, you know, at least one scout that made it by selling popcorn alone. You know, just have them plan what they want to do with it. Customers want to hear this information. If you don't tell them, they're not going to support as easily. If you tell them what they're going to do with the money, they're like, oh yeah, that's awesome, you're going to have such a good time at Camp Easton, or I went there when I was a kid, you know, so let them know. If you have any questions, again, this is a goal towards your commissions. You have to earn that extra 5% for them. So, any questions?
Yeah, I don't need one. I think I can. What is the dues for this year, 23-24 coming out? When is that schedule coming out?
That has nothing to do with my department, so I have no clue.
It should be coming shortly. We just finalizing communications.
Okay. Okay.
So there's no council or district, a number that we're trying to get for each scout. It's just increased sales over last year as a trip, correct?
Increased sales over last year.
What budgeted number?
We will have a slide here in a little bit that will kind of map out from council to district to, you know, so that we can tell you, hey, if your unit sells this and all participating, every unit sells this amount, we'll hit our goal. So, no, there is no goal for us for each scout. But there's, of course, the unit goals.
So we need you to talk to the mic because we're recording this. If you don't talk to the mic because it's recorded, it's weird. So that's why we're walking around the mic because we just feel like that.
On this slide, it says decide on the unit incentives for your scouts. Are we going to talk about, I would really like some ideas, what other people are doing, and how to do unit incentives for our scouts. We've done various things in the past, and I want to also have that. Are we covering that, or can we cover that now?
Yes, we are covering that.
Okay, cool.
Anything else? Again, a little bit more about the kickoff, the unit kickoff. Make it fun, build excitement, have food there, have games, prizes, whatever you want. Set goals, talk about the dates, make sure everybody can get on the Trails End app. If you have new scouts, bring your laptop there. You can share everything through your laptop through your leader portal to get them onto it. Talk about all the prizes, talk about Trails End rewards, how to get to which level, talk about our council incentives. There's lots of training resources on how to use the app and how to do sales on the Trails End leader portal. So make sure you look at that. Any questions on this? Okay. I think it's you now, right? Am I right? Okay.
Phil, I have a real quick little plug for budgeting. So it's such a key that your families and parents especially, right? They gotta know what they get for participating in the sale and hitting the goal. So you as a colonel may say, well, gosh, I'm just a popcorn colonel. You know, that's the leadership of the unit. And so if you don't have that, then you need to go to your leadership and say, hey, why are we selling? We set a goal for $1,000. By the way, Anna, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think last year in this council, the average scout sold right around $900 a scout, which is incredible. I've been part of the sale for quite a while, and I can remember when we used to just do everything we can to get every scout to average, $300 an hour. And here we are, in 2022 with a $900 scout average. So help your families know, again, either you or people with the leadership of the unit, and say, what do our families get for hitting that $900 or that $1,000 goal? And that's the key part in budgeting in my mind, is that parent knows exactly what they get. And then that leads to the kickoff, right? You want to share that information when you have the kickoff. So if you have the information, you can share it. It'll be much more effective. As they're out selling, all of a sudden now there's this common, there's this reason why we're selling. We're going to get these activities. And like Anna said, now the scouts can convey that and communicate that to the consumer, and that makes all the difference in the world. So we'll talk about that. So we do the webinars. How many have, I'm going out on a limb here, how many of you have attended one of our webinars over the last couple of years? Okay, so for those that are new, do I get an endorsement from those that have been to one of our webinars that it's a good thing? Yes? I'm getting a few shakes. Okay, that wasn't an overwhelming yes, but anyway, so if you're even existing, but certainly would encourage you to attend one of our webinars. They begin July 6th. You see it on the slide. There's the link. It's just trailsaction.com/webinars. And the cool thing about it is that we go through kind of a canned recorded presentation for 25, 30 minutes. And then at the end of the webinar, we have a team of 3 or 4 of our people, and a lot of them are leaders just like you, unit leaders and colonels, top colonels just like you. And they come on and they'll answer questions live. And they'll stay on that webinar as long as you want to keep talking about popcorn, they'll stay. Of course, you don't have to. When you're ready, you can leave at any time. But anyhow, encourage you to attend the webinar. After somewhere around 2 or 3 days after we start on July 6th, we will actually take our recording of the webinar and put it onto the Leader Portal training tab. So if you go out, encourage you to go to the live webinar, but if you go out to our schedule and none of them fit within your particular schedule, then know that within a couple days, somewhere around the 8th, 9th, 10th of July, on the Leader Portal, on the training tab, you'll see the 2023 Trails End webinar, and you can watch it at any time that's convenient for you. Okay? Good to go there? Okay, a couple of the things around training is this script with the scout, right? We all know how important that is. We learned, we had a top seller, his name was Luke Fuchs, out of the Bay Area years ago, that just was selling $30,000, $40,000. And one of the things that he taught our scouts back then is he says, you never use the word buy, and you never use the word sell in your pitch if you're a scout. Think about that. Some of you that have been around have heard that already. But instead, you use the word support and help. Right? Will you help me reach my goals? Will you support me in my scouting? Right? So just that key little thing there is to make sure that your scouts, and of course you're seeing on the screen, the little sample sales pitch that you can see there. Make sure your scouts know that, have their pitch down, and it's the right little angle with the consumer. Very important. I did sell with my son, and gosh, those were, once he got that pitch down, and his key was making sure he always would say hi, and then I taught him to pause, right? And where that consumer would finally go, oh, hi. And once that happened, boom, they had it. And we were very successful, a couple $100 an hour out there at the storefronts, which always just amazed me that we were able to make that kind of money. So, very important on helping your scouts perfect their pitch. Other tips you can see: wearing your uniform, looking sharp. You've got, talk about the app. Anna is correct. This council led the nation. Every other council in app percentage. We had 99% of transactions went through the app. So pretty cool. What do you think about this one that says, what's the answer for when the consumer says, what's your favorite product? What's the answer to that?
All
of them. Okay, I love your answers because they're all right. All of them. The most expensive one. A lot of times youths will say, okay, we have the most of this product today. That's now your favorite. Right? Okay. Anyways, love it. Exactly right. Important for the scouts to know that. Okay, these are all things that you guys know already. And again, you'll get the PowerPoint so you can look through it. Okay, storefronts. Anna, is Anna around? She's here. Okay, so let's talk about the storefronts. Obviously, really, really cool in that as we now are going to be on our 4th year with the app, we've got all this data. And one of the things that we're doing that's really, really cool that we started to last year and we'll even fine-tune this year is we're able to go in and we're able to see the scouts per hour average. So it's really cool. We'll be able to look at stores that are performing better than others. And we'll be able to give that data back to the council, back to district colonels. Wouldn't it be cool if someday we could say, hey, PAC 100, you're at this store and your scouts are averaging 120 an hour, which is really good, but there's a store over here that's vacant that is averaging over 200 an hour. Why don't we switch and move over to this store, right? So these metrics and analytics are really cool. We're getting into that, and the app is allowing us to be able to do that. So the council partners with us. We have a little team that goes out and books the stores. It's not perfect. We don't get every store in the area, but last year we, out of the stores that were in the system, the council used about 4,000 or 5,000 of those. Well, this year our goal was to double that and have about 12,000 hours for you. Our team, by the time they, booked all the stores, they got 15,000 hours out there. And yeah, you see. Can I get a hip hooray? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Again, remember my comment earlier about trying to make life easier for you, to save you time, right? This is one of the ways that we're partnering with the council and with you, is we're coming in and saying, hey, let's take that burden off of the leader. We have councils that are on their 4th or 5th year. It's funny because I'll talk to them about going out and booking a store, and they're like, how dare you? I'm not doing that. It's like, oh, we did that for 30 years, right? But now they're so used to just being able to go into the system, pick the date they want to sell. There's a list of stores. Oh, that looks good. Claim it, and off they go. Now they literally just post that, those shifts now are available for the scout to see in the app. They go sign up, and it's a thing of beauty. Again, it's not perfect, but it's coming together. So you can see that those stores have been loaded into the system. So for those of you that are on the leader portal, you can go to the storefront reservations tab, go to the calendar, and start to see the stores. They're all grayed out because we haven't opened the claiming yet, but you'll at least be able to start seeing the stores that are out there for you. And if you don't have access to the leader portal because you're new, well, then you need to get registered, right? Okay, once you register for the sale and register your unit, then that process gives you your username so that you can get into the leader portal. Okay, question?
Do we have a date on when it's going to open up?
Yes, it's the next slide. Yeah, perfect. We're just seeing if you're all awake, right? Let's see. We have them in there full days. I think that's good, right? Anna, are we ready to unveil this? So here's the claiming schedule. It'll start on Saturday, July 8th. That's 9 a.m. Pacific time. And when you go into the portal right now, it'll let me know that you have 2 picks coming up on this date. And then you'll make those picks, and then the system kind of rests for the day, and then come in the next day, and it'll open up and give you 2 more picks. Anna has something to say? No? Okay, so you can see we've got pretty much a week of you being able to pick your 2 picks, and then we go on that Saturday, a week later, you can go whatever's left in the district, you can get, and then we'll have a little bit of a time there, and then August 1st, we basically say, hey, everyone's had plenty of time to get their picks. August 1st, we open it up, and you can get whatever store across the council that's available. Question? Got the mic? Yeah.
Okay, I talked to Becky all this last week, and I was noticing also here in the registering system that there are half days for stores.
Yeah.
So, because it said full days up there, so I make sure people
you know,
are aware.
and hot off the press, we got that changed. Yeah, thank you though. So 2 or 3 days ago when we were looking, they were half days. We caused a little panic with Anna, and anyway, we got that. So they're in as full days. Okay, another question. If you want to, maybe I could. Well, let's have a mic. It's right there.
It's a quick, easy question.
Hey, so are the ferries part of the claiming schedule, or is there a separate schedule for ferries?
I believe the ferries are not in there yet. We've had.
So, no, Sean will be contacting the troops in Sailor Sea and North Cascades that are able to do it. So that is something that is not being done through Trails Run System.
There you go. Okay. All right, sound good? Everybody excited? Woo-hoo! 15,000 hours. You kind of probably miss going and talking to those managers, don't you? The store managers. No? Okay. Let's talk rewards. We kind of hit this already, but again, 1.25 points for credit card and online sales. Again, as the scout uses the app, the system just keeps track. The scout sees their points. They see what levels. Just as an FYI, at the end of the year, last year we ended with a 1.25 for online and for credit card, and those were the point levels, and we held on those levels. So we didn't change those. So the levels stayed the same, the points stayed the same at the end of the sale, and you can see that we have that little line there, auto submit. Hopefully we want to get these scouts their gift cards as soon as possible. Ideally, when you place your final order with the council around, can't remember on the key dates, they'll talk about the key dates in there, but I think it's around Halloween, maybe a week before, but once you're finished with the sale, hopefully there's not a lot of tallying. I mean, think of the olden days, right? We used to get paper forms and sheets that you had to tally up for hours and, do all that and figure out what prizes the scouts wanted, and all that's been eliminated with this program. But now, literally, you finalize everything, you go into the button, into the rewards link, or the rewards tab in the meter portal, submit, and you're done. Ideally, it'd be great to get those scouts their gift card codes, their Amazon gift cards, before Black Friday, right? Because, gosh, what did somebody say? It's like they literally, it goes like 15-20% further, if they can find the deals that are on Black Friday. So we do come in, and any unit that's all ready, that just hasn't hit the button, we go in and auto submit that. We've been doing that for years, just letting you know that we do that. We also have had, it's something we haven't really talked a lot about, and I don't think we have an issue in this council, but we have problems where the scout gets they're ready to claim their gift card, but they don't go in and get it. And so we had a year expiration on that, and we're moving that up 6 months. Not because we're trying to just be mean. We just want these scouts to get their gift card. And so we'll have some reporting for you and all that, and this isn't spending the gift card, right? It's literally just going in, the family going in and getting claim and getting their gift card code. Once they do that, then they're good. They can sit on that claim code forever if they want, right? Okay? So that's how, okay, so we know these, all the benefits of the reward. We've talked about that already. Hopefully you guys feel the same. We certainly do. I think that we caused some major stress if we went back to physical prizes. You guys having to track down what each scout wants and all that. And so. Okay, I think, Jen, I think you're up next. This you right here? Any questions on that? Good.
So they're actually letting me talk on the microphone once. Woohoo! Thanks. So I'm about to discuss our council incentives. This is our lock-in bowling party for scouts that sold $5,000 or more last year. We had about 10 scouts there that got to come bowl and spend the evening, and they had a grand time. So the council prizes are a little bit different this year, with the cost of prizes going up and the cost of popcorn having gone up a little bit. Our prize levels had to change. So this year, our minimum, we'll talk about, when we talk about product, we'll talk about what our minimum dollar amount is. But for each scout who makes one sale, it's a $15 minimum, you get a badge. It went from $600 to $750, and then $1,300, $5,000, $10,000, and $20,000 are still the same. We are doing lanterns, camping lanterns, for our $750 prize this year. It is, Anna, is it 7 or 750? It's real low.
750.
750. The $1,300 prize level, you can either get 2 tickets to the Silver Tips, Scout Annual Silver Tips, or Scouting Equipment Package, which
There's a picture in that book.
Fantastic.
And the next slide here.
Cool. There we go. And there's our cool patch. We got a pretty cool patch this year. And then you also, for that $1,300 club, you get a special council shoulder patch.
Advance the slide. There we go.
See, I'm still talking from my prize, my page sheet here. 5,000 is the lock-in bowling party. $10,000 is a trip to Great Wolf Lodge, and then we had some scouts get pretty close to this last year, so we should see if anybody can make this $20,000 club. Right. Right. And then Anna has some shout outs for all of our scouts that sold over $10,000. So, I would like the leader from Chirp 130, or from 36, sorry, and Pack 21, 777, and 536 to stand up for a minute. So these leaders are great resources for all because they're the ones that helped get those scouts to that level. So pay attention to who they are, go talk to them, pick their brain about lots of stuff, because I know it's a lot of hard work. So thank you.
And we have a really cool ribbon that said nationally ranked popcorn sales, because which pack was like number 17 in the nation or something?
36.
36. Pretty amazing.
Okay, did anybody have any questions about the prize levels this year?
Well, there's a lovely shirt. Oh, sorry, I forgot my list. I've got a list.
Will there be a local prize sheet with pictures to show our scouts so we can print off?
Are we gonna make a cool sheet that has pictures of the prizes so we can be like, here's what you earned?
How about we, like last year?
Like this? Like last year?
We'll work on that.
Awesome.
We'll make something.
Thank you. Oh, also, can you make send it to work with your parents' spreadsheet for us? And a picture, like, I think Katie, she made it on the web page or Facebook page for us to print off, so we, when we take it door to door, we have lovely pictures of things to show our customers.
Sign her up, Chris.
Right, yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
Sign her up.
Next year's Aqua Junior, is that your picture?
Yeah. Okay, this year we're excited to bring back the unit incentives. So we have 3 different levels for the unit incentives, and we have a increase your sales by $2,500, $5,000, or $750, and that's an increase over last year's sales. We have a Buy My Derby kit, a camping kit, or a gift card if you all, because troops already have a lot of that stuff. So then if you don't need either one of those, you can do the gift card option, get what your unit does need. Yeah, I think this was really cool. Anna's got the, question? Come with the mic.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding clearly. The unit incentives you listed are per child.
No, they're for your unit.
So if our unit is sold over $10,000, they go to Great Wolf Lodge?
No, okay, so the 1,300,
these are for each boy.
This is
or
per
child.
scout.
Okay, and then these are if your unit increases sales by 5,000, your
Yeah.
pack earns this.
Yes.
And you guys, if you came in late, these are out in the lobby. So there's one for each level you can take back to your unit to show them. All right, so you heard earlier that our goal as a council is to sell $1 million. Woohoo! we got super close last year, so I was really on the edge of my seat last year. I'm like, are we going to do it? So this year, I think we can do it, right? So we have 80 units that registered to come to here today. So good job. Good job, all of you. We were 90% registered before Monday, I believe, of the entire council. And I guess Trails End says that normally they were sitting right around 80 for units registered. So good job. So thank you everybody for stepping up and coming. How you can do this by helping the council hit $1 million. And I just did the math. If each unit here sells $12,500, we'll hit it. It's easy. You saw there were 8 scouts that sold 10 or higher. So it's super, super, super easy for us to all do and make a commitment to do that. If you have 5 scouts in the unit, each scout would need to sell 2,500. Super easy. Few hours of a site sale, couple door-to-door sales. You're awesome. You're there. If you have 10 scouts, it's 1,250. 15 is only 850 per scout, and 20. So of course, the more kids you have in the unit, the easier it's going to be. But I think we can do it, and I think we can all make a commitment to sell 12,500 a unit. What do you think? Yes? No? Yes? Come on! I think we can do it. Here's another tool. You guys all got a copy of this. If you didn't, you're out of line. This is another tool to give to your scout to use. You can, if they have a goal of 2,000, tell them to fill up 2 sheets, bring it back to you. Maybe use this as a tool to give them a prize if they fill a sheet and they can sell this product. Give them a prize and turn it in. Talk to your unit and figure out what kind of prize you can hand them out. It's worth it. Again, this is on the website already, I believe. So you can print that off to be able to get more. Any questions? I think you're next.
So right off the bat, we missed a typo. The good news is white cheddar is not actually $25 this year. It's going to only be $20. Right? If we got a typo, at least it's in our favor.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah, just to give you something to talk about. So the biggest thing you'll see is we did away with the caramel corn, which will make some units sad and some units super excited. And I talked to Jared about it, and he said that nationally the sales of the caramel corn have been declining. And so they've introduced some new product to change it up and offer new things for successful sales instead of continuing to offer a product that's not necessarily new.
Is this all for South?
No, ma'am. It is not all for South.
Can I just say something real quick? So when Jen says the market, basically we stay very close to the retail market. Our philosophy in products is that we want to sell products, popcorn products that are selling in the market. And so the products that you see here represent about 80% of almost a $3 billion market. 2.25 of it are products that we sell. One of those, and so if you look at the white cheddar retail market, if you look at the kettle, they're on the rise. Caramel is actually in the decline. And I would push back on caramel. I know caramel was your bestseller. I'm not sure it was because it was the caramel. It was because it was the price point, right? But anyways, that's partially why we said, hey, with caramel declining, it doesn't make sense for us to have 2 caramels in our mix. We already have the salt, which, as you guys know, does very well. And so that's where we made the decision with kettle on the rise, caramel on the decline. We thought let's move kettle into that entry level $15 price.
Thanks, Jared. So that being said, that sweet and salty kettle corn is going to be $15 this year, along with the jar popcorn.
So I see you have chocolate pretzels for $30 on the screen. On the paperwork on page 11, it says that it is $25.
Another 8. So it's 30. It's 30.
Thank you.
Why don't you take notes here? Let's look at this. Somebody take notes. Okay, so that being said, the chocolatey pretzels, because they're chocolate, they're still available either for online direct or for takeover. That's because they don't even ship until October because of the temperature. We don't want them to melt. So if you have scouts that are, and families that are wanting to order that, just make sure that they're crystal clear when you sell it that, hey, you're not going to get this until October. Usually people are like, oh, that's fair. I don't really want to know the process, and they're cool with that.
Yeah, it would have been nice to know. Like, I'm sitting there like super excited about my caramels, and they don't show up until the middle of October.
Yes, so any chocolate product, whether you happen to get the snowflakes online or the caramel clusters that you order online or the chocolatey pretzels, all of that ships in October because of the temperature. We're still doing, just a second, because I might answer your question. We still have microwave popcorn this year, 12 pack for $25, and then salted caramel stay the same at $25. These are two new products. We're doing a s'mores popcorn that's going to be $25, and then before you get scared off by $50, this is actually a 12 pack of individual serving bags.
No, it's a 28 pack.
Oh, okay, 28 pack. So don't be intimidated by the price. It's actually a lot of popcorn. So it's pre-popped, salted, individual serving size, 28 packs. I'm kind of excited to try that one. Might actually last a minute in my house. And of course, there's more available online. We had a question.
That was before you switched to the screen on s'mores, but I was wondering, because I think s'mores is chocolate, but you didn't know that it's an online only. Is it considered a chocolate product or not?
It is not considered chocolate. It's a dusty, so it is not a chocolate product. So it's a dusty nut.
And one comment, if your customer orders anything at all with a chocolate product that won't come to October, you get nothing until October.
Yes, thank you for that reminder. So if you do an online direct order and they have chocolate in it, it will hold the whole order until October when the chocolate ships. So if they want it before, they would have to do two separate orders. Might not get their free shipping at $65, but just options. Now, there is a little catch with the s'mores this year. Because it is a brand new product for Trails End, we are going to put a limit on how much is being ordered for two reasons. One, so we don't end up with massive amounts of extras that we can't sell, and two, so that the plant can keep up. So our limit is going to be for every $3,000 worth of popcorn you order, you get one case of s'mores. And that's a case of 12. And then another way to put it is it's going to be 10% of your order. Right? Okay. Does anybody have any questions about the catch with s'mores? Cool.
That's a pre-order? 3,000?
Yes, for every $3,000 that you order popcorn, then you can order one case. So if you're ordering $12,000 worth of popcorn, four cases of that could be s'mores. Does that make sense?
Prior to sales start.
Yes. So when you place your beginning order to show up in August. Yeah. Come on up.
So I'll just go here, Rick. So we have some new items, obviously, and so things have moved around a little bit. The white cheddar, I can tell you, we've changed the formula. You're gonna love it. White cheddar at 20 is gonna fly off the shelf, off your tables. He was excited about that. But one of the things, we put this slide in there so that we can communicate to you that the way you order is going to change just slightly. In the past, you would go in the leader portal, hit the order popcorn button. It would show you the items, you put in your cases, it would show you the dollar amount, you hit submit. A little change this year to help you know what percentage of each product to order. Okay, what's going to happen is when you go into the order screen, you're going to hit order, or into the leader portal, you're going to hit order popcorn, and the first thing that's going to come up is say, what's the dollar amount that you want to order? And that's where you'll put in your $75,000. their 15, 20,000, right? And then what will happen is the system, based on our research and things like that, and even regionally, it's then going to put in percentages of these products. And s'mores will be at 10% for you. So hopefully you're fine just to run with the percentage there. If you're uncomfortable about that, you can lower it. You can change these percentages, but this is basically to help you know, okay, here's how many popping corn, here's how many of the kettle, here's how many of the butter, the white cheddar, and that. So just don't be alarmed that when you go place your order, that the first thing it's going to want is your dollar amount that you're going to order. Hopefully you can put in that dollar amount, look at the quantities that the system has given to each product, say that looks good, and hit submit, and you're good to go.
What's the rationale of not having a product at a lower price point? I mean, at $15 for one thing is really tough. I mean, if we were able to break up the popping corn into, 3 things for $5, we could probably, capture some of those other sales that, people just can't afford. Is there a reason on which we don't have lower price point available?
It's a tough thing. I mean, we were at $10 for basically a couple of decades when we took inflation and had the economists guys do their calculation. Basically, back when we started a $10 item and looking at it in 2022, basically that item should have been about $18. So I know it's a struggle. I've sold with my Scout, and it's certainly nice to have that lower priced item. But remember that you guys all know this, we're not selling the corn, we're selling Scouting. And one of the things that as a partner, we're trying to help you raise the money that you need in the quickest amount of time, right? So it's that, where's that balance of a $10 item versus a 15? I can tell you that for years as a 10, we had a number of councils wanting $5 items. And those first 2 years, we would do a $5 item, and in every case, the council sale and unit sales dropped. And so it just didn't make sense. And so we hung there at $10 for a couple decades. And now I know it's a little bit of like, but who's not going, every time we all go to the grocery store? And I was in Costco the other day and I just got angry because I'm just mad at the prices that are there. So I know that that's something that we all deal with. But reality is that when that Scout's in front of the consumer and they're telling them how they need their help, and they want to do this adventure or that adventure, hopefully that consumer says, okay, it's really not about the corn. I'm going to support this Scout. I'm going to get this little side, treat as a result of my supporting that. But I know it's a tough one.
I would just second that and say we're not selling popcorn. We are supporting Scouting. We're selling Scouting, if you will. And think about a box of Girl Scout cookies for, what is it now? Supporting, not selling. Supporting the Girl Scout box of cookies. It's 6 cookies for $7 or something. And
I'm telling you, Rich had that little slip there, but I'm telling you, you get your Scouts away from those 2 words, buy and sell. It's amazing what will happen. Getting them to use help and support, and you'll get people off of prices a little, off of ounces, off of side, right? Oh, I'm here to help you. Okay, yes.
So, 2 questions, or 2 things to say. For you, sure, can you hear me? Okay, great. What I found last year is, yes, prices were high, but those that have $5, they just donated. And they gave what they could and ended up making so much more just by our donation jar that went to the Scouts and went to support. My other question is there a limit on ordering? In the sense that when you're saying it's easy for us just to pop in and order, because I have really big goals, am I going to be limited?
So that 75 is right, 75,000. Yeah, okay.
We want to be able to order more.
If it's up to me, no. Anyway.
Is it up to you?
Jen, no, it's not. Jen just whispered and said they're gonna get to that. They're gonna get to allowing you. But you bring up a great point, and thank you for, shame on me for not remembering. Don't forget, everybody, that in the system, we have a $50 Heroes and Helpers, we have a $30 Heroes and Helpers, and what's the third item in Heroes and Helpers? $1 miscellaneous, okay? So don't forget that. If that consumer says, oh my gosh, I'd love to, it's just this $15, I just don't have that. If that consumer has $3, if they have $7, if they have $9, whatever that consumer is willing to give, that scout can record that item in the app under the $1 miscellaneous. They give them $7, quantity of 7 on the $1 miscellaneous. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate it. We're going to talk about the Heroes and Helpers program here in a minute. So reality is that yes, product-wise, your entry level is 15, but don't forget to tell your families and your scouts, but you have an item that you can sell that represents whatever that consumer is willing to give you. Okay? Thank you for reminding me of that.
Hi, just a quick question on the new way of ordering. So the percentage is just a suggestion, but we can change that and we can decide like which products we want to buy, and if there's something we don't want to buy, we can just
Correct.
change it ourselves.
Exactly. It'll come in and pre-fill it for you based on the dollar amount, but it's not like the fields are locked. You can go in and adjust them. Now I will say that if you go and say, well, heck with those guys, I'm going to go 20% of the s'mores, that order will come in, it'll let you place it. You'll get a message. The system will let you place that order, but Anna and I, Rich, probably will review that and say, we just, come down to that 10% on the scale.
And then just a tip for people who are selling, and especially for those of you who are new, what worked for us well last year is I had a table, and then I had the products, but underneath the product, sign up this fee, I wrote in letters like $15 support level. So the people are going to the store and they see that title, $15 support level, and that also helps your scouts, especially the new scouts who don't know how it works. When people talk to them, they'll be like, here's our bag, $15 support level, and that seems to really help versus using the word try and sell.
Great tip. Back to Jen.
Okay, so since we're on talking about the ordering, we have the suggested amounts that you order. When you need to order, so the deadline to place your show and sale order for in-person sales is going to be Friday, August 4th. And this information it's in the guidebook, it's page 3, and it will be online too. Okay? And since we already got a question about how much, your unit is limited to 100% of your previous traditional sales. So it's whatever you sold in person, not counting your online direct. And those numbers are on that piece of paper that you got when you checked in. If you arrived late and you did not get your last year's numbers, make sure that you see one of us after this at the table, because we have them by district. Okay, so Friday, August 4th, and 100% of last year's traditional sales. Now, it's going to arrive, just a second, Thursday, August 24th is going to be pickup. No, well, there's a slide in there. Keep in mind when you come to pick up how big your vehicle is. Okay, so we had there were 2 questions.
What about new units? What's 100% of a new unit?
So new units, we're going to work with you. So we're going to figure it out. Talk to your district colonel. He'll check his Katie, Sailor C, talk to Andy, or not Sailor, Northwest Gates, talk to Andy, and Sailor C, talk to Sean and Cora is here today. So we will work with brand new units. We will figure out how many scouts you have, what average scout can sell. You could go for one of these levels your first year, so we'll work with you. So if you're a new unit, you want to hang tight afterwards, we can talk about stuff afterwards and we'll go there. Anything else?
Mine is sort of related. All 100% of our sales last year were online. So we 0% of 100 or 100% of 0 is 0. So
We'll talk after. Yeah, we'll have a call afterwards and we'll figure this out.
yeah.
And same thing if you have major goals and you are aiming to really increase your sales over last year and you need additional popcorn over what you sold, you're also going to get with your district colonel and they'll help you figure out how much you're going to order. Okay?
Jillian, you can attest to this. Last year, they had 5 scouts in their unit, and we increased to up to 30. So we had the same thing in their unit. So we know past crossovers just happened. Your troops are increasing. A lot of kindergartners coming in this year. So yeah, we will work with that greatly this year.
Do you know the dates yet for those additional orders?
As you need additional popcorn, you're gonna get with your district colonel, because the council and the districts will have some additional popcorn, and the council will be placing an additional order if we need it. And it's usually mid-sale. And then we do have take orders. Take orders are due October 28th. So if you need any last minute popcorn for that. Okay? Question?
What do you mean by take orders?
Just a second.
What do you mean by take orders?
Take orders are, we used to do them by paper, but it's, you hit up Aunt Edna and Grandma Mary, and so you kind of have a running log where maybe you don't have that popcorn right away. I know in my family, my aunt places her order in September, and we see them for Thanksgiving. So I'll do their order at the end, and if we need additional popcorn, and I can't place it on my own stash.
The only product on our list that is take order is pretzels. So keep that in mind. So if you sell pretzels throughout the season, you will have to place a take order.
Yes.
If a unit doesn't meet the threshold to order s'mores, will they still be able to order one box?
Say that. So
So
you're not ordering $3,000 in popcorn.
Oh yes, we'll figure that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be wagon sales without product. So if you're going to deliver it later.
Yeah, so you would mark in the app, you would mark it as undelivered if you are doing a take order. So you mark it as undelivered and it'll pop up in a report in your leader portal, and everything that's undelivered, you either need to fill out your stash or order it at the end of the sale. And then Rich, there's another question behind you.
2 questions. I know in the past we have been able to maybe get chocolatey pretzels midway through with like the mid-sale. Is that going to be possible? Don't know. Okay.
Weather dependent. I mean, it's really up to Trails End. If it becomes a possibility, they'll make the announcement and let us know.
Okay. Never know anything. And Blazin', I know that's gone. Is that available online?
No.
No, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay. And so I know with s'mores it's limited to 10%, but if we're selling it, will we be able to get more than the 10% from the council?
I'll have extra at my house, so we'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's just like the popping corn, and like last year we ran out of popping corn. Who would have known? Every year there's a thing. So with that being said, I know there's units out there that order a lot for their sale and everything, and then we try to get popcorn throughout the season to fulfill. And if, like last year, we ran out of popping corn. So if you realize you're sitting on like 5 cases or something, just share with your neighbor units, and we'll get more. So we're only successful if we all work together. try not to hoard. I know it's hard to do.
If you end up with extra, you can let your district colonel know because there may be a neighboring unit that's running low on some. Go ahead.
So for those of us who live far away from Everett, with picking up the orders, is that going to be, I'm north and I'm close to the Canadian border, is pickup going to be in Steve Rowley again for us? Okay, and then what about take orders? Are take orders, is that going to be an Everett pickup? Because last year, I drive all the way to Everett.
It really all depends. Again, work with Andy because if you really can't get that far and it's too far for you to come, talk to your DE because he's there to help you and support you. So I can't necessarily control all of that. Like last year, our take order was really small, so we did it in the basement. But who knows? We might not have a basement this year. We'll see. That's another one.
So I am new this year, so just to clarify, if we share what we have in inventory, we're able to order what we want. You will replace what I share out by ordering me more. I see a no and I see a yes.
Okay, I think that's circumstantial. So if you say you're pack 100 and pack 80 needs, they're low on popping corn, and you have 5 cases, and you give them 5 cases. So that's just a transfer to them. You're no longer responsible for the 5 cases, they are. If you find yourself needing more popping corn, because all of a sudden it's a hot seller, then you're going to contact your district colonel, and they're going to get you more popping corn, and you don't have to worry about those 5 cases that you gave to the other unit.
So when I lend or I give out or I transfer out, I would like to get those 5 cases ordered back right away. Is that a possibility?
Yes, yeah. So we work really, really closely with Trails End, and and so the popping corn, for example,
We ran out of a lot of products last year. And
Right.
we had to close down our site sales because of it, and so I'm just trying to preventatively.
So each district will have product, and I actually have more product than they will at their house, or at my house personally. So if your district colonel is not entering or can't get you product or anything, they contact me, or you want to contact me, I don't care. You can come up.
How long does it take to get a reorder in? Am I waiting another 2 weeks?
It takes about 10 days depending on what day of the week it is. So we might have to go 1 weekend without it. So, yeah.
That $1 million.
I know, and we are ordering extra, right, Kevin? You're giving me the go-ahead to order extra this year.
We do not plan on selling less popcorn.
You said there should be very many take orders except for the chocolate, but in years past, when we had to, way back when, we had the take forms, we would actually sell the product at the site sale. If we didn't have it and they wanted it, we'd just take their name, address, and deliver it afterwards.
Yeah.
Is that still a possibility?
Totally.
So there will be more than just the chocolate, potentially.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions before we move on? Okay, when you come pick up popcorn, keep in mind, like, I know I have to usually make 2 trips. Keep in mind the vehicle that you bring. This is kind of a funny little graphic about how many cases you can fit if you pack well into various size vehicles.
And don't forget, kids take up space. So if you're carrying a child with you too, that space is taken by them, and you can't put popcorn there.
And if they're still in a car seat, it's even more space. Let's talk about the heroes and helpers real quick. There are very specific requirements that need to, because of how BSA and donations work, there are very specific requirements about how these work. They are not donations to your troop, per se. They are donations to the Heroes and Helpers orders. Okay? So they still need to go through the app. They're not just free money for your unit. You can do it in $1 increments, you can do it at $30, you can do it at $50. And it's still the same where if we have like $200 in Heroes and Helpers that they need to buy that out. Or can it just stay as a single $200?
Keep it as a $200. Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to buy that out anymore. Once upon a time, we had to do a little paperwork and have actual like units of the $30 and $50 donation levels.
Don't overthink it.
We don't do that anymore.
Cool. So that's no longer a thing. This is good news.
It's based on dollar.
Okay. So you can have 200 individual dollar donations, and you can just leave it that way.
Yeah.
Don't have to have complicated paperwork. So just to be crystal clear, it is not a donation to your troop. It is a donation to Heroes and Helpers. Okay? You can use that money to buy out extra popcorn that you have and donate that popcorn yourself as a unit. So if you live by a fire station and you guys want to take the popcorn and donate it to them, that's cool. But again, it's not a donation to your unit.
We want you to tell us that you've done that. How much and what fire station you're in.
Yeah. Let's let the council in your district know so that.
And take pictures. And we'll put them up on the council website of your smiling faces.
Because we like positive PR for scouts. The more we get, the more we get scouting out in the public face, it's good for scouts, and it helps with your recruiting. It gives, we all know how important being out in the community is. So when we get our picture in the paper, then we're out in the community.
So I got a lot of people last year just like handing me $5 and we're putting it in our donation box. Every time they give me $5, do I have to track that on the phone or can I count that up at the end of the day and
Both.
do it either way?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have to track $5 at a time. That's really
You can. I usually will do it at the end. The other thing is they can do Heroes and Helpers donations by credit card, and that's totally fine. But just on your sales sheet, make a note. That way, when your popcorn kernel, or have your parents make a note, and that way when you're doing that at the end, they know, hey, cool, there's like an extra $10 here that's on the credit card. Go for it.
So, if you're using, say, you order a bunch of extra popcorn and you use the Heroes and Helpers to kind of compensate the troop for ordering too much, if they put it all online as donated to Heroes and Helpers, can you no longer use that? You have to wait to insert it as a donation online and then tally it up at the end of the sales, or can you do it even though it's been tracked as Heroes and Helper donations, at the site sale, they were keeping track as they went, and they were $5 here, $5 there. Well, now we have extra popcorn that we didn't get to sell. Can we take back those donation things?
So I would highly suggest, so you have your all-day shift, right? You're going to break it up into four categories. And so you have Aaron, you have Tristan, you have Brooks, and whoever. So when Aaron's done, count all his money. You can do one transaction and say, hey, cash transaction done. Turn that money into your popcorn kernel, okay? Don't run your, don't use the PayNow option on that. Your popcorn kernel will figure out how to convert it into product. I guess you guys are all popcorn kernels. I'm sorry. I just realized that. But the popcorn kernel then can go in and delete that transaction and convert it into product. So then you can go in and say $25 kettle corn or whatever, you know, you can figure out which products you have left over and how much money you have to buy it, and then take that product and donate it. And again, take pictures, email them to your district colonel, email them to me, whatever. They might end up on here, they might end up on the Facebook page, you know. So, if you don't want to mess with that, don't mess with it. But the only ones you cannot convert backwards are credit card transaction lines. So if you have a customer says, you know, I only have $5 in the bank, here's my debit card, you know, go for it. So you cannot change those ones. Now, we as a council, when we have leftover popcorn, we can take those credit card ones and then donate our product. How much did we donated? $26,000 from our council fund last year. We donated it to Heroes and Helpers.
So is this eligible for like the points or
Yes,
pension?
yes. Yeah. Donations are all points as well, yes. Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Sorry, I got the slides right now.
That one over here.
Oh, question, Rich? Okay.
So it says that the Heroes and Helpers stays locally in Washington. Do you know specifically what it's for? Because I've had many people ask me specifically what it goes to.
Any hero and helper you want it to go to. So, firemen, policemen, hospitals. We donated it to Northwest Harvest last year. Helped a lot of families.
So is it the council that decides where that money? Okay, so the council decides to support. Okay, thank you.
Oh no, I was just question.
If you have somebody you want to donate popcorn to, you can contact Hannah. And
Okay.
we'll do
Yeah.
that.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Okay, maybe I'm really slow. Plus I'm brand new. I don't even think I'm a colonel. I am confused. So if we collect a donation and they say, what is it going to? We say
Heroes and Helpers,
which is
take your pick. It's a discussion you may have with your unit leadership.
Okay.
When you do your annual planning of, hey, if we end up with this stuff, who do we have a local group?
Okay.
Otherwise,
so I have like this little tiny. So if we have grandma walk up and go, oh, I want to donate $5 to your pack. You say, thank you, it goes to this instead?
Yes. Yeah, it's going to go, Heroes and Helpers is the key phrase.
Okay.
It's going to go to our Heroes and Helpers program where we donate popcorn to, we're going to donate it to a fire station this year. Or, it goes back to the Heroes and Helpers in your community.
Roger. Thank you.
And I would just add on to that, units, troops and packs are actually not allowed to take donations. They are not 501c3s. Only the council is, and in some cases your charter partners. Because I want to give money to your pack, you are not supposed to take a donation. The Scouts thrift, the Scout pays their own way. If you want a part of the discussion on Wisconsin,
yeah, that's why it's very, very specific that it is a donation to Heroes and Helpers and not your unit. Yeah. Okay, something far more fun.
no, we do get to military also.
Yes.
Police, fire, military.
So, number one, you have to use a mic. Number two, we used to donate to military, okay, and they used to ship it overseas and send it to all their families and stuff, and then they're like, we got too much. So it was all going to waste. So then they decided to do the American Heroes, and that broadened the width to, the police, the fire, hospitals, whatever. Now we're saying, you know what? We don't have to limit. So, you know, your scout can say, hey, he's my hero. I want to donate to him, you know, or whoever, or she, or whatever. So we broadened it so it doesn't have to be specific. So it's whoever your scout or you think is a hero. Does that make sense? So it doesn't have to be somebody who wears a uniform. It can be anybody.
But the unit doesn't have to worry about that.
And yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You just basically say, hey, it's going to a hero or a helper. And then let them know.
When that scout enters it in the app, they get sales, they get points. It's as if they sold popcorn.
Yeah, it's a popcorn.
If someone wants to know who it's going to, we say we're going to help a bunch of different organizations here locally. Heroes and helpers that are here locally.
And you do not have to pick your own heroes and helpers to donate to. You do not have to convert it. If you have leftover popcorn that you just know, they might be able to fulfill somebody else's order with it. So just keep that in mind, and we can do the heroes and helper donation. So
Yeah.
we're not putting it on you.
It doesn't have to be done at the unit level. You can leave it as the council's responsibility to handle the heroes and helpers. Okay. More fun things. Picking up popcorn. North Cascades, your addresses are up there, and we'll get the popcorn up there. It is coming in on Thursday, August 24th. So for Pilchuck and Salish Seat, we're back at the Volunteers of America building. We're 1 year? 2 years? 2 years. 2 years now. And there were no pickups before 11 though. We gotta have time to get it sorted. It was very challenging last year to try and sort with everybody trying to pick it up at the same time.
What's the latest we can pick up was the question.
Well, that's a good question, Anna. Say that again. What's the latest?
They close at 4:30, so we have to leave by 4:30.
I don't know. We'll send an email about this. The district criminals are going to be in charge of sending out a sign-up genius for folks to come, what time slots they want, so that way not everybody's coming all at the same time.
One more.
Sorry, so it's with double checking, those of us in Martin County don't have to go to Cedar Woolley to go to Bellingham to pick that up. Is that what that means?
You're going to end up talking to your district colonel.
We won't get popcorn up north by 11 o'clock on the 24th.
Yeah.
Trucks that come from up there probably won't get there until mid to late afternoon.
Do you want me to talk about the dates? Anna's going to talk about all the cool dates that are coming up.
We're getting really close to being done first.
We are. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So, key dates to put on your calendar. You can start picking your storefronts on July 8th. Sales start on August 25th, the Friday. Wagon sales and online sales can begin August 1st or on the 25th. Your last storefront sale will be October 27th, and your orders are due on the 28th. I will be assigning commissions between November 25th and 30th. That is right around Thanksgiving, so keep that in mind. And payments are due the 1st through the 8th. So now again, you do not have to make a payment to council and you get prices faster if you use more of the credit card sales. Okay, so there's a question up here in the middle. And then up right here.
On the calendar in the booklet, it says last day for show sales is Sunday, October 22nd. Up there it says the 22nd.
Okay, thank you. We'll send a correction email about that, so I will double check my calendar.
Okay.
I think it's the 27th.
It is the
From
27th.
memory, but
online storefront signups. What time of day do those days for each day come live? Maybe I can go on
9 a.m. Pacific, so that's our time zone, right? 9 a.m. our time.
9 a.m. Pacific if it goes live, you say?
Yes.
Thank you.
How quickly do the parents have to do the buyout from, let's say I'm selling on a Sunday, and in order for the parent to actually have it clear their bank account, they need to deposit the cash first? How quickly do they have from the end of their shift to do that buyout?
The P&L auction?
The P&L auction, sorry.
So can they, like, if they have a shift on Sunday evening, go to the bank on Monday morning and do the P&L then? Is that, okay. Yeah, apparently you can do it on Monday.
On July 8th, there's, everybody is open for site sales sign-up?
Yes.
There's no more prioritization based on previous sales, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And just a nuance of what you said, anybody can start on the first day, there's no more hierarchy. So everybody gets the 2 on the first day, 2 on the second day.
And then we've got our kernel checklist. So this one is another one that we'll send out to you guys. It is, I think there is a copy of it or a similar copy of it to in the guidebook somewhere. You know, just in July, August, this time frame. What?
Page 9.
I don't know.
No, that's where it is.
Oh, page 9. Okay, sorry. Can't always hear. Place your initial order. Make sure you get that done. Attend webinars. They're useful. They really are. Michelle's done a lot of work into them because a few years back we were talking about doing webinars here. I said no, that's too much work. So I praise Kelvin for doing that for us. Make sure you're on our Facebook page. On the next page, there will be a QR code to get to our Facebook page. Do your recruiting, you know, it's, you know, check with your district colonels about replenishing products. Make sure you're ready to go for the weekend. Just to let you know, we're all volunteers here. Every single one of the members of my team is a volunteer, okay? I've got scouts out selling. Jennifer's got scouts out selling. Cora has scouts out selling. A lot of us as well run our own units popcorn sale. So keep that in mind. If you have a sale Friday night, don't be contacting us Friday morning for product. You know, keep that in mind and plan ahead, you know, so, because I might be at a sale and I may not be able to get it to you, so, okay. Okay. So basically just again, we'll send this out to you. Okay, so if you have any questions, you know, there's my information up there, each one of your district's questions, our phone numbers are up there, contact information. Again, it's in the guidebook, the second page, first or second page, it's got all of our information in there, so.
As she runs away, the QR code is for Mount Baker Council Platform. We have our own Facebook page, and that's the QR code for that. If you're not already a member, you can come join it. And I know we have Katie's really phenomenal about helping out with that. She'll put up sales tips, and she's kind of our district and council cheerleader a lot of times. And if you have questions, you can ask them on that Facebook page. popcorn. Sometimes people will be able to answer you back faster than the colonels can if the colonels have, the district colonels happen to be busy. What are we doing now, boss?
Well, I'm going to make an announcement. So if you showed up late and you did not get one of these yellow tickets, every single person in this room can get one. Mr. Adams back there has the roll. Raise your hand. So raise your hand if you did not get one of these. And with that, while he does that, keep your hands up. And I'm going to invite Mr. Kevin up here. He wants to chat for a minute. You want to say something? You can know, yeah. We'll save this some fun stuff for after you're done.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name is Kevin Nichols. I'm the Scout Executive for our council. Thank you for all being here. Sylvester over here, Daniel, stuff like that. How many here for the very first time? Fantastic. Well, welcome. How many have been here too many years? Okay. Well, welcome back. So, I just want to say a few words. I've been a scout executive, a professional in scouting for 35 years. I've been involved with popcorn sales for 35 years. Thank you, Jared. So, popcorn's been around for a long time to support scouting. And that's what it's doing, is we're not selling popcorn, they're just giving us an avenue to make scouting happen. You know, primarily, this is a platform that provides a life-changing experience for young people. It delivers program opportunities for scouts, the unit, and also the council. A lot of the money that is raised is going back into the program, and at the council level, you see that primarily of all the investment that we do at Fire Mountain Scout Camp for young people. This program, this popcorn sales, this provider of program teaches our scouts also lifelong skills. That's what we're about, teaching young people character and leadership and lifelong skills. One of the ones that I see, having raised 3 Eagle Scout sons myself, is it teaches them to be self-reliant. They learn by their efforts and the efforts of their fellow scouts that they're responsible for paying their own way, not their parents. How many would enjoy that? Exactly. They also learn that the harder they work, the more adventures they can enjoy and experience. That's why we provide this opportunity to teach them this valuable lesson that's going to carry on through their lifetime. All these skills and all these programs are wrapped up in this simple fundraiser that for decades has provided success in providing programs for scouts. And we thank that our Trails In partners for helping us provide this. Especially in this council. I don't know if we said it enough. This Mount Baker Council is in the nation the largest of our size. That's correct, Jared. We are known as a Class 400 Council, which is the most of any council in America. We are #1 across the nation. That's anybody from Florida, that's anybody from New York, that's anybody from Michigan, that's anybody from Kansas. This council is #1. You guys made that happen. So congratulations. And we want to continue. We actually have beaten councils who are larger than us, including one called Chief Seattle down in Seattle. So every year we need to beat Seattle.
It's a Tacoma.
Yeah, Tacoma.
I'm keeping track.
Yeah. We are the largest seller in the state of Washington, by the way. So congratulations. So this is a wonderful opportunity to teach skills, to provide life-changing experiences, and for our youth to have fun in scouting. So thank you for what you've done in the past to make us so successful and your scouts to enjoy a program. Thank you for being here today and learning how you can continue that tradition. But most of all, I want to thank you for all that you're going to do in the lives of your young people and in the lives of our community. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over here. I think we're going to give out some fun and exciting prizes, right? So, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kevin. So the forward part of our program is over. You can all leave now if you want, or you can stay for the door prizes. There's a couple of questions.
I may have missed this earlier, but I didn't see the information on how to place the popcorn order for the unit.
Through your trails and forth, your leader forth.
Okay. And so I'm in there and it doesn't do anything. When will that go live? For us to place that?
That's a good question. We'll let you guys know when it goes live. Just sometime before the word, yeah. Soon. I think I just need to tell them. It'll turn it on for me, so. What's next?
Hey, is there any numbers anywhere that show how much money last year or the year before was given to Fire Mountain, specifically based on what was raised by popcorn?
So none of the popcorn money goes to Fire Mountain. It goes to the council, right? The council's way more than Fire Mountain. Fire Mountain certainly is a huge part of what we do, but it's about a third, maybe, of the total council operations.
Page 6 in the guidebook has.
Yeah, there's actually a little chart there.
Yeah.
I have one more question on page 6 if you're there. It says at the bottom, it says unit commission programs 33%, but you guys kept saying it's 30. Is it the 33 or is it the 30 that's correct?
So your base commission is 30, but some units will earn 35 because they have jumped through all the hoops to earn it. So this is an average of over.
And that's actually talking about percentage of the council budget, right?
Okay, that's fine. So it's the base.
You can earn 35. That's the average between 30 and 35.
And the only difference this year is on the commissions is online sales is only 30%. So that's the only difference.
Okay, we will be out in the
I'll be on the lobby.
and
Feel free to
ask
come
questions.
on.
There'll be a group of Billshot, a group of North Cascades, and a group of Sailor Seas. You can come ask questions directly to your colonel, and let's get on with the show.
So I have one more thing real quick. So we have two, so the Aqua Socks have said that we can sell and have like a tent and a booth set up in the corridor to sell product this year. So you should have been talked to by your district colonel or one of them about it if you would like to be entered into that drawing. If you're a pack, you need to have at least 10 kids be able to be there. If you're a troop, a minimum of 5 kids that need to be there. So if you qualify for that and you want to be in this drawing and you are not in this drawing, raise your hand.
And my sincere apologies to Pilchuck if I got your name in there and forgot to find out if you were a small unit or not.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do that drawing real quick. With the other place, so we're going to do 3 drawings. The first one gets first priority. Second one will get second priority, and third one will get third priority. And if we get to do the same thing at the Silvertips, we will use the same bucket to draw names, and we will contact you and let you know if you guys made it or not. Okay? All right. What? Sometime in August for the Ox.
It's the same thing as Scout Day.
It's scouted as the Ox.
And then Silvertips, they don't even have their own schedule yet, so we can make it.
I hear that it's the 4th of August.
August 4th. All right. Who wants?
Are we gonna have popcorn on that?
Yes. Yes. Once I draw the name, I will work with you. So we'll discuss all the details and everything. Okay? All right. I'm not cheating. Troop 36 is one. Number 2 will be Troop 35. This is hard to do. And PAC 180. All right, good job. Okay, so if the first one can't, I'll contact the second one and so on. All right, now more.
Now for the door prices?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, I got more.
Did they not turn in half of their door price ticket? Anybody? Okay, so it's not in here, there's no way. All right, what should we start with? How about the beautiful 50th anniversary Fire Mountain thermos mugs? Number 387342. Must be present for 387342. There we go. I need a runner. How about a fabulous 50th anniversary flashlight with a theme today, in case you're wondering? How about I just did the last, it's all one roll, right? The last 3 numbers, 355.
I'm not running anywhere.
Okay. How about a really big 50th anniversary flashlight? 2313. How about a cook kit? A fabulous little backpacker's cook kit. 369. An archery set. Sort of. 359. 354. 354. 354. A $25 gift card to Safeway, Albertsons, all those other these places. 324. 324. There we go. Another flashlight. 370. There's not a lot of enthusiasm going on here. Woo! Yeah! Woo! Another flashlight. 329. 329. Oh, right over there. We should do it. Yes. I like what you do here. We have a UFO quadcopter drone. Ooh. 307.
Let's see how well it flies.
What's next? Another cook kit. 2360. 360. Another flashlight. 351. Over there. Another bigger flashlight. 334. Another thermos. 344. 344. Another gift card. 348. 348. Follow us with me. 348. There we go. Another fabulous bow and arrow, or whatever this thing is. What is it name? 321. 321. Another flashlight. 372. 3, all the way back there. 372. Another flashlight. 333.
Right.
Another bow and arrow. A 312. 312.
Okay, so is there going to be a little competition between the two of you?
Another cook kit. 320. 320? No. 320? Oh, he left.
Are you going to see him? Got to be president, okay.
Yes, here we go. Give us that one. Give him another number. Number 358. Woohoo! Another drone. 318. 318. Another gift card. 339. Another drone. 359. Oh, there she is right there. Another bow and arrow. 347. Another cook kit. 375. Now there's some enthusiasm. Woohoo! Another flashlight. 373. 373. All the way back. Another flashlight. 310. 310. There.
That wasn't a run.
Let's see. Another flashlight for 374. 3 all the way back. And another flashlight. There's a lot of flashlights. 315. 315. And another flashlight. 325. All the way back. Another flashlight. 364. 364. All the way in. Is that the back? 364. 364. Going once. Going twice.
What was the number?
364.
Yes, sir. Sold.
He almost lost it. 338. We're getting down to it. Put that there. Another flashlight to 316.
Good.
Another flashlight to 346. 346. Another flashlight to 323. It doesn't work. Did you see if there's paper between the batteries?
No, the batteries are another award.
Did we find 343?
Come back next year. Yeah.
We're getting down to it. The last cook kit, 327. 327? The last drone, 332. 332. The last fabulous archery fighter. It's a thing. 309. have here? We've got a gift card, 343. 343. Ooh, that flashlight goes too. Another flashlight, 305. One more gift card for 335. The last flashlight, 308. And the very last, Fire Mountain 50th Anniversary Clean Canteen Coffee Table, or whatever hot beverage you want, or cold.
Hot shot.
328. 328. Here we go. All right. Hey, we thank you for your patience today. It's a little long day. You have more questions, head out to the whatever that area is out there, and find your popcorn. Sell popcorn. Sell opportunities for scouting.
Stop. Make sure. Make sure you meet up with your district colonel. They have your gift card and the bag of popcorn. So make sure you talk to your district colonel. You have to sign it out. If you don't sign it out, you won't get it.
I'll tell them that we can go ahead. Yep. All right. Perfect.
Oh,
Rich. There's a bunch of them out. There were a bunch of them out there, and these ones. I forgot she was going to give a few of them.
Exactly.